burnt out and your heart makes no sound. I'll find valid in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky.
Wie wird watch stream? No sound. I'll find valid in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the IndyCar Series podcast hosted by yours truly, one Yudi boy. We have a bit more news than the last time. I think last time was kind of, let's say, it was kind of boring. There was nothing much going on at the time, but if you read the description, and if you're uh, looking at the news recently, you're seeing quite a bit of transfer action, quite a bit of signings action going on, and today we'll be talking about quite a bit of that. And so let's get started. We for today we're going to have at least one guest. We know we're gonna have Missouriemk back on the podcast for a much better interview than the last time. Uh, and again, we'll be talking about signings and everything. I was hoping we could get one of the team owners on here, however, he has not responded. So it looks like that probably won't be the case. Um, anyways, let's talk about the transfers. Um, so for transfers, big news today. After, or it wasn't today, it was a few days ago, I think. After three, after Team Penske was practically deserted. You all know that, and all the drivers seem to have left at the same time, which must have sucked. But they looks like the owner has made it up, and he has signed probably one of, if not the best driver still remaining in the league, and that is Cordy GT. Oh, I forgot his username. Cordy, I should say. Um, so that's a big signing. He was originally at McLaren, um, and there had been discussions between the owner and Cordy before. However, they always seemed to fall through, and so for the first two seasons, I think he was on McLaren. But then of course, finally, Cordy was signed, and that's a huge signing for Team Penske. One that could put them back as a uh, true contender in the team championship. In other transfers, there's been many of them, and it's important to highlight that there's been a lot of competition between Ed Carpenter and uh, Team Penske for drivers. Uh, Team Penske they have Cordy now, but they're also looking for other drivers to kind of supplement him. However, Ed Carpenter seems to want to get those same drivers. Uh, from what we are seeing right now, uh, they were competing for Millie Rock. They eventually signed for Team Penske. And then also there's competition for Toxic Rage, who was, or actually, Toxic Rage was signed by Ed Carpenter. I think there was a bit of competition for him between the two teams. Let's see. There is actually not much else. Uh, I thought maybe I overestimated it a bit more. I thought there might have been a bit more transfer stuff. Maybe I overestimated it. So let's move on. Let's talk about there was a fun race. There was a fun race at Bristol, I think, last week or last weekend, I should say. Um, they raced Indy cars at Bristol, yeah, and it was hell. There was, I mean, they eventually turned collisions off, which was causing a lot of the hell. But it was, I think it was Sachai. Who was it? It was Sachai who won it. He took 50 Robux in doing so. It was unfortunate because I would have participated had I had my Wi-Fi limit not been going off at that same time as the race. But anyways, congrats to him. That was probably quite fun. Let's see. I should probably be more prepared for these. Although to be fair, there's nothing much happening. We are getting. Oh, also here's some good stuff. We are getting. I think we are getting. It's updates on the main game. I forget which game. Or it was, I forget where they put it. Where did they put it? Where did they put it? Okay, I think I remember that the main game has now got a more specific date of release. Looks like it's going to be sometime in February, from what I have heard. There's going to be a lot. There's a lot in development right now. There's a lot of development right now. There is. Looks like there's going to be a pretty decent GUI for selecting your track in the main menu. There's going to be a lot of tracks as well. And then quite a bit ago, they also revealed the new car GUI, which is almost like similar to a real life IndyCar wheel. Wish I could show you a picture. Maybe I should start doing that in future streams, but might as well. All right, it looks pretty cool. It's got timer, it's got lap time, it's got fuel levels from what I'm seeing, and then it's got the engine or the speed input and RPM. And so let's see, what else is there? Again, I should be more prepared. From what I'm okay, wait. Results, polls. This is awkward. Lots of here. There's been quite a bit of free agent activity. I mean, obviously, it's like this because of the off season. But since the season has ended, you could say that there's been about three new drivers, 4 new drivers actually. 4 new drivers that have come, and out of those 2, or so 2 of them have been signed, I think, by, looks like AJ Foyt. AJ Foyt's been quite busy. As Azanokami and Mako were both signed, although I think they participate in some of the races. And then Code Bacon's as well, or Code Bacon's was signed to Ed Carpenter. And then Mount Jewett was signed, or Silent Solo, I should say, was signed by Team Penske, I think. Yeah, and then there was Toxic Rage, which I talked about. Anyways, there's not much. Again, this is the struggle of trying to come up with news, because off season's like the most boring part. Anyways, let's go. How much time have we been streaming? We've been streaming for 20 minutes already. So, although that's technically 10. We're gonna go to a break real quickly, and then let's get the interviews, since those are obviously the most exciting parts. Looks like we the team owner who we plan to meet with is going to be here. He's going to be able to attend. So we'll have a nice batch of interviews set for you. So we'll be right back. All right, we are back after a relatively quick break. Um, and we've got two interviews lined up for us today, which is pretty cool if you ask me. Um, we've got they've yeah, they can't see. They can't. Anyways, don't mind what I just said there. We've got two interviews lined up. uh, we've got Major. I call him Major. His name's kind of weird. Uh, and we've got Palazzo. And so first we're going to be with Major, who we partially interviewed last time, although he was short on time, so he has requested an interview, or like a kind of a redo interview, I guess you could say. And so I guess we're gonna do that. So let's see. I already asked quite a few questions last time. I'm gonna be short on questions for you. But welcome to the show, Major. He's here with us, and how are you doing on this fine evening? Oh, all right. Sorry. Can you answer that again? I didn't hear you. One more time.
I'm good.
There we go. Didn't have the audio up. So Major, we had kind of a crappy interview last time. Oh, uh, yeah. Uh, oh, you're not ready? We are having some technical difficulties. Okay, he's ready now. All right. This is kind of bad, but we've got everything solved, I think. So let's see. Me, uh what questions do I have? So, uh, Major, let's see. What you're again, as I said again, I keep saying this over and over again, but you're a pretty, I mean, pretty active driver in this league, and so at least I could see you possibly having quite a career if you were to put in even more effort than you did. Not to say that you haven't put in any effort, but um, and with that effort would come probably an increase in talent. And so, do you think you'll be practicing a lot this off season to prepare and get a good season 3?
Uh, mm, yeah, I will. So I can get a better finish positions and fight for the championship.
All right. And suppose you do practice a lot, and suppose that you are looked upon as a pretty notable prospect. I mean, this is your second year, but this will be your first full season. And do you think if you perform well enough that you'll be looked at and possibly signed to one of the bigger teams in the league?
Yeah, I don't think so because maybe, but I'll have to find out later if I'm actually good enough.
All right. So then, or what team do you race for again? I keep forgetting.
And ready.
All right. So you race for Andretti. Uh, so, um, seeing that Andretti has been in a bit of turmoil recently with ownership and uh, stuff like that since JDM, the former owner, has since gone inactive on the server and hasn't done much since really since mid Ohio. And to that, do you think that this kind of these ownership difficulties with the team are going to affect how you perform in season 3?
Not really, because I'm just gonna try the best I can. So if once the new owner comes, you can see that I'm actually good enough to compete with the team.
And from what I've heard, it looks like Colton Herta's new owner. Am I right?
I believe so.
And so, what do you have any close connections to him? Do you think he'll be a good team owner this season?
Um, well, he's kind of a good team owner, but I'm just worried that he might just start signing random people.
Do you think though the people that he's signing may conflict with your interest for the team?
Depends if they don't do any dumbass stuff to me.
All right. So then
Yeah.
let's see. You. Oh God. Again, I need to prepare more for this, but uh, you are. You are. I- you are again a young driver in perspective or in uh oh, hold on. So uh what are you seeing that you've probably heard about the news that Cordy has joined Team Penske? What are your views on that subject?
That's BS. I'm
Yeah,
not, I'm mad.
you're mad. Why are you
There's the
mad?
way there's the way he did way he performed last season. He did pretty well, but the last race, I'm still found that fishy that they allowed him to do something
Yeah, I
that I
think
saw.
the final few races he kind of went literally off a cliff in terms of form. Um,
Yeah, and like he was
especially
like literally.
like Belle Isle, he was like wall riding and everything, and got disqualified. And I thought he got disqualified at Nazareth as well. But nonetheless, he got. I think he got P3 in the drivers' championship. He had a really good start to the season and won some important races. So I think, personally, I think not to be biased, but I think it's a good signing at least for Team Penske. Seeing that Cordy is probably the one of the most talented drivers in the league, as annoying as he can be sometimes. Uh, and you've probably also seen a lot of conflict between Carpenter and Team Penske over some drivers. Do you think that this will cause some issues in terms of the market or like the free agent market in the future for smaller teams? Hello.
Oh, sorry, I missed it. My
Okay.
audio was glitchy.
I'll ask again.
Sorry.
I was just asking that you see there's a lot of like conflict between Ed Carpenter and Team Penske, probably the two biggest teams. They're conflicting over a lot of free agents coming into this league. And do you think that's gonna affect the free agent markets for the smaller teams like McLaren and Andretti? and AJ Foyt?
I believe not, because lots of them, lots of the free agents saying that they have no experience at all. And some people have like lots of experience, like some you and me. But overall, I think if once the season starts, everyone's just gonna forget about it and just go on their ways.
Yeah, all right. That's understandable. There maybe one last question. Um, let's see. It's again, these interviews are going to be quite short since not much news happens during the off season, but uh it's getting closer and closer to the release date of the main game. And my question to you is, as a driver, do you think the game, or do you predict that the game will be uh, a realistic experience for drivers wanting to become, or do you think it's going to be a good practice ground for new drivers or new players who are inspired and want to drive in this league? Do you think it's going to be a good game for that?
Well, yeah, we got up, and obviously, I think it will, and we could already see that Brandon is already thinking to put UI, that's with the fuel and stuff, into the league game. So I'm thinking might make the league some fancier to make it better, so we can more competitive racing. But overall, I think the game might be the end at first, but once more tracks coming in and more people races, it's gonna be like pretty good, like the Ions game is.
All right. I can agree with you on that. I think it's going to be, I mean, it's like with the streaming and with the new game coming out, hopefully it's going to look good. I'm sure it's going to look good. They've put a lot of effort into it. And it could attract a lot more drivers or people wanting to drive, and therefore increase the chance of finding a gem in the league. And so I think the main game could change how this league operates and how the quality of the league is. Oh, definitely, or it will hopefully increase that quality, that and keep it the way it was in season 2 with all the great drivers we had. But anyways, Major, thank you for coming on to the podcast today. This was a much better interview than last time. So yeah, thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me. And before I go, you should look in contract offers.
Contract offers. Let's see.
It's blowing up. People are getting mad at each other.
Contract. Wait, what do you mean? Offering center. Whoa. Breaking news, guys. Carlin is just offering up contracts for a huge amount of racers. All at the same time. Obviously, it's going to take time for those offers to be accepted. But that's yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. Anyways, it's gonna be a while before anything really happens with those offers, but looks like Carlin's making a big move towards becoming a big team. Then again, thank you for coming on, Monsieur, and we are going to go to a quick break. And coming up next, we'll be interviewing Ed Carpenter, team owner, Palazzo.
inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption. Eat faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Be carefree lately, yeah. Just kicking up daisies. Got one too many quarters in my pockets. Counting like the four-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah. Just tripping on daydreams. Got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep.
When it hurts like this.
All right, we are back from the break. For those who were confused by this screen still saying be right back last time, which was on for about half the interview, that's my fault. That's the second time I've done it. I'm a dum-dum. Looks like... Anyways, if you're just joining us, this is the podcast number 2 for the VIS IndyCar series. We're going to be doing this during the off season and possibly during the actual season. I don't know exactly if we are going to be able to do it, but as we wait for Palazzo to oh, is he back? I can't tell. Oh, you're back. Yeah, because you said you were AFK. He said he was AFK, and now he's back. So, we're gonna have him on right now. So Palazzo, welcome. Or Palazzo is the owner of EdCart. For those who don't know, and if you don't know, then I'll be kind of shocked. since he's also the co-owner of the league. So welcome on, Palazzo. How are you doing this fine evening?
I'm doing pretty well. I mean, yeah, I mean, I've had a pretty good Saturday here. Been watching the Rolex today, and just having a pretty good day overall.
All right. So you're watching the Rolex, and so I mean, I don't really follow endurance racing or racing in general. I'm more of kind of a road racing specific guy or whatever. And so I don't know about the teams and anything, but how is watching the Rolex? Are you enjoying it?
I mean, it's pretty boring at the moment. I mean, again, there's still like 22 hours left, so I mean, there's still a lot to go down. But I guess we'll see later tomorrow afternoon, and when it gets underneath an hour, and that's when it gets exciting.
And you and uh, me and Plato, as well as Speed and Sachaya, all participate on a Roblox recreation of the Rolex uh, 24, and it was called the Roblox 24, which is um, it was pretty messy, but at the same time decently organized compared to other endurance races. And the track as well as the cars weren't too bad. A few issues popped up. We ended up winning the thing in our class, which was nice. But on to the actual IndyCar stuff. As the owner of, or you are actually the first team owner to come on this podcast, and so, um, what are your ambitions heading into season 3 for Ed Carpenter?
I mean, I feel pretty good about the season. I think we definitely have the best driver lineup. We have many drivers that can win races and get podiums week in and week out. And I feel good about our chances of winning a championship this year. And that I hope that we can do that. I hope that we can win a championship and become the first team to win two championships in this league.
Um, so you're optimistic about winning a championship, uh, yet obviously, as always, it seems like Team Penske is going to be your main competition. They've just signed they signed previous season's, I think, third place finisher in the driver standings, Cordy, which was a huge signing and a pretty big shock that he signed so suddenly after being at Arrow McLaren for a full season and whatever. And so, do you think Cordy is going to pose a threat to all of your drivers?
I mean, he's a good driver. It's just he's some days he's good, some days he's horrible. I think it just comes down to the day, and I think our drivers are more. I think our drivers are still better. I think he will pose a threat, but I think we will be able to handle his threat very easily.
And so you talk about your drivers being consistent. Can you name your drivers and can you name the ones who you think will be your best ones?
So we have, well, I guess our two main drivers. We have Zane Detrain is probably our best driver on the team right now, and he won last season.
Yeah, at
And
Vegas, I
then our
remember
second
that.
driver, what did you say?
No, I was just saying I remember him winning at
All
Vegas.
right. Yeah, and then we have It's Code Bacon's. He was doing pretty good at Nazareth, the last race of the season. So I decided to pick him up, see what he can do this season, and hopefully he can bring what he had in Nazareth. Hopefully he can bring that into the next races for season 3. After that, we have Aviator. which is a guy that owns a NASCAR league that I race in. He's pretty good. He's a pretty good driver. I haven't really seen him drive the IndyCars yet. And then we have Toxic Rage, which I just signed today. So I guess we'll see. I don't know much about him yet, but we'll see. We'll see what he's like when the season comes around.
You mentioned It's Code Bacons. He is probably one of the hottest rookies coming into season 3. He got his. I mean, technically, he got his debut in the last race of season 2, and he put up quite a show, getting P2 in quali. And then did he get podium? I forget. I have very short memory.
I can't remember.
I would have to check results, which I'm gonna do right now because I need to know. Results. He didn't. It doesn't look like he showed up or he didn't finish. Don't think a lot of players finished, or a lot of racers finished that race. But he did get third or second second in qualifying, and he looked really good out there. He got a really good time. And so, how do you feel like he's going to? Do you feel like he's going to be a rather big impact for your team?
I mean, he definitely showed that he has the speed to be a championship contender. It's just, is he consistent enough to be a championship contender? And I think that he may have the speed to do it, but it's just I don't know much about him yet, so I've only seen him race one time, and I think we'll just have to see what happens when season 3 comes around.
And so let's talk about probably your biggest rival, Team Penske. Again, they signed Corey. They've signed Millie Rocks. I mean, Corey's the only one I really know about. But it seems like you two are having quite a quarrel in terms of signing free agents. It seems like when one wants to sign a free agent, the other jumps in to make an offer as well. What's that all about? Can you explain that a bit more in depth? Oh, he left. That's fantastic. All right. That's kind of a weird ending there. Had to go. That sucks. All right, we're gonna go to a quick break. We're gonna have to try. At least I'm gonna have to try and either improvise or try and get him back here, because apparently his dad was being annoying. But yeah, we'll be right back. Hopefully, I'll think of something we can do.
We climb the greatest heights, jump down and have a fight, and that's all we'll ever like. But that can never change my mind. When it's good, it's amazing. When it's bad, it's uneasy. I wouldn't have times, but I'd never say goodbye or ever leave this stuff behind. When it's good, it's amazing. When it's bad, it's uneasy. I wouldn't have it another way. There's no other way. Yeah. When it hurts like this, never like, don't beat it, never like, never like, never like, never like, don't beat it, never like, don't like. When it hurts like this, never like, never like, never like, never like, never like, when it hurts like this. If I gave you a wig, would you keep it in a bottle, lie in bed and pour a drink of me? And let your friends think you're developing a problem, but we're happier than it could be. And if there wasn't always something dragging us down, like everyone around us saying we're just messing around. Well, maybe I can love you, babe, but maybe I'm too afraid of getting less than I gave. I'm not that brave. I'm not that brave.
All right, after a few technical difficulties and after, guess we can call it a dad moment, uh, we are back with Palazzo. He's back. His problems have been solved. So we're gonna pick up right where we left it. So as I asked, I think before, I'm trying to remember what I was asking, but I think I asked so like Ed Carpenter and Team Penske have been quarreling over free agents in this off season so far. Seems like when one team wants to sign a free agent, the other jumps in to make an offer. And so about that, can you like elaborate on what is going on and is it a problem? Hello? Oh, great. Hello? Oh. Oh, okay. Okay. Did you hear my question?
Yeah, I got it. I mean, both teams want to win the championship. Both teams are we're definitely the two top teams in the league at the moment, and just being able to claim ourselves as the champions of this league. I mean, both teams want to do it, and if you can, it's a great achievement, and everybody wants to do it.
But but then when it comes to free agents, you have to say that you're taking a gamble. And so this is starting to almost seem like somewhat of an IndyCar Cold War, I guess you can say. Like both teams are racing to get not necessarily the best and most proven drivers, but just the most drivers in terms of quantity. And I don't. I mean, I don't know how that's going. How or do you think that having more drivers is gonna improve your chances of winning?
Well, I mean, the more drivers you have, the more points you score per race. So we definitely want 4 drivers. We want to max out our team with drivers. But again, quality drivers still matters. I mean, I don't want to pick up somebody that's 10 seconds off the pace. I still want to have good drivers that can set good lap times. But
Uh,
it's definitely good that we have all 4 drivers, and you can clearly see that in both teams. That we both know that we need 4 drivers to win the championship.
uh, and so, do you think that the drivers you signed, especially I mean, I've talked about Code Bacon's already, but just in general, do you think the rookies are gonna have a sizable impact on this league, and how well do you think they'll perform?
Well, I mean, our team is a complete team of rookies, other than Zane, and I've seen good things out of Zane, and I haven't seen much of the other drivers yet. So I think if we have any problems early in the season, we'll definitely have to clear those up. But I think by the end of the season, I think the rookie drivers will be perfectly fine, and they'll be perfectly normal with all the league timing and everything.
All right. Let's see. Since seeing that not only are you a team owner, you're also probably one of the main developers for the new IndyCar game coming out, and I have to ask: when do you think? What date do you predict that this game will be released to the public?
Well, we were shooting for late January, but there's just so much stuff we have to do still. Um, Maybe next weekend if we can jam it together, but it may have to go a little bit later than that. There's still a lot of stuff to do. We still have to make setups and everything.
And how do you feel like the game is coming on? Like, is it a good replica of the actual racing you'll find in the actual series, the actual league?
Well, I mean, the cars are going to be the same cars that we use in the league, and the setups are going to be pretty close to the ones we use in the league. So I think that if you are good in the game, then I think you'll be pretty good in the league. And team owners may have to be looking out for people that are good in the game, because you may be able to pick some good drivers up from watching people turn some laps in the game.
Um, and so popularity of the game is of quite an importance to this league into this series. And so, what steps are you going to take to kind of let the road racing community know that this is a league where, or this is a proper, organized, large, and competitive league that is open to all drivers? How do you think you're going to get that image across the road racing community?
Well, I mean, me and Brandon, who are the two owners of this league, we're definitely a big part of the road racing community, and I think that if we tell enough people, I think that we can get this league to be bigger and better, and we can also do some advertising on Roblox and everything to get more people interested in the game. And again, the more people that we have in our league, the more people we have in the league, uh, Oh my god.
Alright, hold on a sec, guys. It's another dad moment. Sorry, guys, for the awkward silence, but it seems like Lazio is having having to do some things. I don't know what exactly. Hopefully, he'll be back. In the meantime, trying to think. He won't be gone for long, but in the meantime, oh, do you have to go now? Or hold on. All right, looks like he's not going to be able to come back. So I guess on that note, uh, this is probably going to be the end of the stream. I mean, I would have loved to have kind of finish off that interview with Platzo, but I think we got a lot out of him already. I think we got enough out of him already. So one last quick thing for those of you watching. I think we only have one viewer right now, which is kind of sad. But to whoever is watching, as I said in the description, and I'm gonna say this now, every Saturday at this time, it might be delayed a few days, or it might be like a few Saturdays. I might not be able to do it. However, for most weeks, every Saturday, 5 p.m. EST is when these streams or these podcasts are going to be. So I'm not gonna advertise my channel and I'm not gonna make you or try and tempt you into subscribing. But if you really want to get obviously notifications when the streams come up, then subscribing is how it's done, how you're gonna know when these podcasts are happening. So far we haven't gotten much viewership outside from like just random people. But anyways, everyone, thanks for coming. Once again, this is VIS IndyCar Series Podcast 2, and it's a good night to whoever lives on the East Coast, and to everyone else, have a great rest of the night or a great rest of the day. That's going to do it for now. We'll see you next Saturday at 5 p.m. EST.